Hello, and on the gaming table today we have the continuation of the escalation campaign between the Vampire Jarls and the Norse. We're playing the 1000 point game today, so you can see the forces here, and we'll look at them in detail soon, but let's take a look at the backstory first. Here's the table for today, set up and ready to go. Once again, I used a terrain generator and came up with this forested landscape that has about 50% forests and 50% hills. The little farmlets and fields are no inconvenience to troops at all. They're really just decoration on the table, and we'll move them around as we need to make way for the troops. So let's take a look at the armies. The Norse here attacking today. They've got a couple of additions here. So now they've got 2 units of cavalry, and one of them's carrying the Banner of Fortune. That'll be the mammoth cavalry there. All of their regular infantry from last time. And then they've also got some Ulferiners off to the side. They've still only got 2 characters. They would only be allowed 1 more at this point level anyway, which would be a shaman, so they're going to have to make do. And they're in a fairly compact formation there. For the Vampire Jarls, they've only had 1 addition in terms of troops, but they have picked up another character. So they've got some Black Knights over here, as well as another vampire. And then the other units here are the same. So again, the front line backed up by skeletons or zombies. And at the back, there are 2 units of direwolves and fellbats. Their necromancer took the Wand of Power. They had 10 points left over from another battle, so decided to pick that up. They like the idea of raising dead. So here we go. As the nominal defenders today, the Vampire Jarls got the first turn, just moved everything up 1 order, so very consistent. Moved the cavalry forces a little bit more to the side, characters to the front, no spell casting, and so that's the first turn. Pretty quiet turn. For the Norse, they got 1 order off with this brigade and wanted to get a second to get it into the woods, but that failed. Then the Jarl got off a couple of orders to move this brigade in. A little confused here because the Berserkers were at the front, which is actually kind of where I didn't really want them, set them up wrong. So then moved things like this to try and get the Berserkers in behind, but that might leave them a little bit exposed. We'll see. Move the cavalry, move the Valkyries. There we go. Okay, for the Vampire Jarls, moved everything up, moved kind of across, so went kind of from here over this way, so that we're not going to get outflanked by cavalry and things over there. The Fellbats didn't move, but kind of refusing the flank a little bit. Big block of infantry here. Moved the cavalry over, put the direwolves in the front, maybe to take a charge. But then over here, with spell casting, from the 2 casters, managed to get 1 spell off, a death bolt that did 3 hits out of 3 dice on this cavalry, drove them back and confused them. So that kind of cavalry brigade is broken up. That's going to neuter them for a little while. So let's see what the Norse do in reply. For the Norse, a relatively uneventful turn. They did a little bit of manoeuvring here with a couple of orders to get things as defended as possible in the woods. Not much else they can do there. They're a little bit out of range for shooting here, so can't do anything about that at the moment. And then reconstituted the cavalry brigade by moving it up onto the hill. They've got a problem where their flank is a little bit open here, but not much they can do except maybe prepare for a counterattack. So mid-turn here, the undead piled in with lots and lots of stuff and also managed to raise some dead at the back. So this brigade of Norse in here is completely surrounded. They were defended, which did help them. The ethereal host can ignore the defended status, but the others can't. And lots of damage done, and the thing that tipped the balance was 9 wounds done on those raised skeletons by these 4 stands at the back here. That's the berserkers and a couple of units, a couple of stands of bondsmen, and that's what tipped the balance. It's 18 to 22 in favor of the Norse. So those 9 wounds there is what did it. It was high rolls at the back, and so now the undead will have to run. To wrap up the turn for the Vampire Jarls, the combat over here after the Norse pursued, the Vampire Jarls units mostly survived. The Norse took some damage as well. 1 stand unit back there, 1 stand unit here, and the Berserkers had to pursue. The other units got ready for initiative charges. Over here, the cavalry was surrounded and died, and then there was a pursuit. An advance that went into the Valkyries, which had the Jarl in the unit there, attached from being run over here somewhere. And so the combat there was a draw, very, very lucky, otherwise the Jarl would have died, and that would have been the end of the Norse army. So as it were, both sides fell back. The Norse fell back first, and then the Direwolves fell back second. So this unit has positioned itself as bait for an initiative charge, so that the Flyers can't go after the Flyers, as it were. Apart from that, we'll see what happens in the middle of the field. So, finish to the game and a win to the Norse. So every unit this turn on the Norse side got an initiative charge. So the Valkyries charged up here, killed off a unit of Direwolves, and then fell back. Over here, the single stand flank charged the Fellbats, killed off 1 stand and then fell back. The Huskarls and the Berserkers got into 2 different units. The fighting was a little bit confused. But at the end of the day, the Berserkers killed off a unit, and so did the Huskarls. The Huskarls couldn't advance at one stage, so they just had to fall back. The Berserkers kept going until they couldn't do any more. And then over here, the Ulfverna and the Huntsman and Bondsman beat up some zombie units, did 2 stands to one, 2 stands to another. And then there was a pursuit that ended up kind of doing incidental contact into the Graveguard, killed them off, and that took the Vampire Jarls to their breakpoint. So, I win to the Norse. So a win to the Norse, perhaps a little bit lucky based on what happened there, but maybe the vampire Jarls were a little bit bold, charging infantry in a defended position in the woods there. Anyway, luck favours the brave, I guess. So for the wrap up here, we're now raising the points on both sides to 1,200. So here you can see the vampire Jarls have taken 4 more infantry units at the bottom of their list there, and the Norse have taken a shaman as well as some more huskarls. With the extra magic points for winning, 20 points, the Norse take the Scroll of Dispelling to give to their shaman to try and counter some of the vampire Jarl's magic. So we'll see how that plays out in the next battle. I will get that played out and put up soon. But for now, thanks for watching, and we'll see you again real soon.